The less you maneuver a remote-controlled missile, the faster it will fly. Remember this if you want to fire the missile over a greater distance.
Colonel, your niece is fine.
Thank goodness.
We can't relax. Not yet.
I know. Snake.
She's quite a woman.
As commander of this operation, I can't ask you to watch after Meryl, but...
Duty first.
Maybe I was wrong. Sending my own flesh and blood to war.
She understands about duty.
I know she does.
But what I want to know is, what was the real purpose of this military exercise?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm nothing more than a middleman.
Is this transmission being monitored by the military?
Of course.
I get it. All the world's a stage and we're merely players, right?
Yes. But even players can influence the play.
I just hope we can prevent it from having a bad ending.
Thank God Meryl's okay. She's a tough one, all right. Although when you look at her, it's hard to imagine how tough.
Must be the walk.
Anyway, I'm glad she's okay.
I also got a card key from her. I think I can use it to stop them from launching a nuke.
Get to Metal Gear's underground maintenance base. That's where the detonation code input system is.
You managed to link up with Meryl. Good. So now you must have the card keys that will override the detonation code. You should hurry. The time limit is running out.
What's up, Snake?
Mei Ling, how did you get into this line of work?
The truth is, I always wanted to become a fighter pilot. I fell in love with jets watching them in the movies.
You'd be surprised how many people say the same thing.
But I didn't want to kill people. That's when I heard that the U.S. Air Force needed people to do BDAs, battle damage assessments.
Those are the guys whose job it is to confirm how successful a bombing run was.
Yeah, so I started to do research into aerial photography and air intelligence. I made it my major.
But there are no pilots who only do BDAs.
That's right. By the time I learned that, I was already an expert in my field.
You found Meryl. The Colonel will be so relieved.
What are you doing? My head! Oh, it hurts!
What's wrong?
Don't come here, Snake!
Are you okay? What happened?
I'm fine.
Okay. Let's go. Come on, Mr. Foxhound. The commander is waiting. Do you like me?
What the?
Do you like me? Hold me, Snake.
What's wrong?
Hurry. Please, make love to me. Snake, I want you.
Who's that?
Snake, Meryl's not herself. Don't use your weapon.
It's Psycho Mantis. He's controlling Meryl. That tune is his mind control music.
Don't use your weapon. Try to knock her out.
Useless woman! Optic camouflage, huh? I hope that's not your only trick. You doubt my power. Now, I will show you why I am the most powerful practitioner of psychokinesis and telepathy in the world. No, there's no need for words, Snake. I am Psycho Mantis. That's right. This is no trick. It's true power. It's useless. I told you. I can read your every thought. You are a very methodical man. The type that always kicks his tires before he leaves. You are a highly skilled warrior, well suited to this stealth mission. You are extremely careful of traps. You are either very cautious, or you are a coward. Still don't believe me? Now I'll read more deeply into your soul. No saved games. Your memory is completely clean. You have not saved very often. You are somewhat reckless. I can read you like an open book. You still don't believe me? I will show you my psychokinetic power. Put your controller on the floor. Put it down as flat as you can. That's good. Now, I will move your controller by the power of my will alone. What do you think now? Can you feel my power? The demonstration is over. Blackout.
That's Psycho Mantis, former KGB psychic. He has powerful psychokinetic and telepathic abilities. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, he came to America looking for a job. He worked with the FBI on several cases as a psychic profiler. 5 years ago, he was working on the case of a multiple serial murderer, and he got too far into the killer's mind. As a result, he became just like the killer.
So he was sort of infected by this serial murderer's thoughts?
In any case, after that he became sort of a psychic spy working for the highest bidder. He traveled all around the world. That's when he was recruited by Foxhound. He can read people's minds. He knows every move that you're going to make.
What should I do? I got no chance of beating him.
There must be some way.
He's a master at controlling people, Snake. Don't let him manipulate you. Not everything you see with your two eyes is real. Destroying his spirit is more important than destroying his body.
Don't let him read you. Be a blank slate, okay? Clear your mind. He read your mind with his psychic abilities. Somehow you've got to get around him. He's using his psychic ability to read your controller's moves. That's how he's evading your attack. You've got to do something so he can't read your controller's moves. Think. There must be some way. I've got it. The controller socket. Plug your controller into socket 2. Do that, and he won't be able to read your moves. Snake, is there any reason you can't use controller socket 2? Snake, is there any reason you can't use controller socket 2?
Stealth camouflage works by bending the light around the user in such a way that they're rendered nearly invisible. But if you had thermal goggles, you'd be able to see him.
A psychic soldier, yes. Although they won't admit it, many countries have paranormal programs and use psychics in their special ops. There is a wide range of abilities. There are some who exhibit little more than a heightened intuition, and there are others who can cause destruction on the scale of a natural disaster. But Psycho Mantis is one of the most powerful. Be careful.
What happened? Snake! Snake!
Blackout!
Snake, is there any reason you can't use controller socket 2? Snake, is there any reason you can't use controller socket 2? No! Meryl! What happened? Snake! Snake!
Blackout!
Snake, is there any reason you can't use controller socket 2? Snake, is there any reason you can't use controller socket 2? Snake, is there any reason you can't use controller socket 2? No! Meryl! What happened? Snake! Snake!
Meryl.
Blackout!
Snake, is there any reason you can't use controller socket 2? Oh well, it's okay. Do you see something that looks like a statue on both sides of the room?
Yeah. You mean those things with their faces all wrapped up in leather bands?
Yes. Attack those statues to uncover their faces.
Why?
Those statues were modeled after Mantis's real face. Mantis despises the sight of his own face. If he suddenly sees his own disfigured face staring at him, it might break his concentration.
Snake, if you destroy the faces of those statues, you should be able to disturb Mantis's psychic powers.
blow your brains out.
Stop! Meryl! Colonel, your niece is going to be okay.
Thanks, Snake. I owe you one.
Now that Mantis is beaten, Meryl's brainwashing should wear off, right, Naomi?
Yes. But why did you go so far out of your way to save her? For Campbell's sake? Or maybe it's because you like her?
I don't want to see any woman die right in front of me.
Oh, really? Since when did anybody's death bother you so much?
Naomi, it's true that Snake has killed a lot of people, but that does not mean he doesn't have a heart.
It's okay, Colonel. She's right.
I wasn't able to read the future.
The strong man doesn't need to read the future. He makes his own.
Perhaps so, but I will read your future. To get to Metal Gear's underground maintenance base, you have to go through the hidden door. There's a hidden door behind the bookcase. The overland route. It's blocked by frozen glaciers. Go past the communication towers, then use the tower's walkway.
Why are you telling me this?
I can read people's minds. In my lifetime, I have read the pasts, presents, and futures of thousands upon thousands of men and women.
Oh, gross.
Each mind that I peered into was stuffed with the same single object of obsession. That selfish and atavistic desire to pass on one seed. It was enough to make me sick. Every living thing on this planet exists to mindlessly pass on their DNA. We're designed that way, and that is why there is war. But you are different. You're the same as us. We have no past, no future. We live in the moment. That's our only purpose. Humans weren't designed to bring each other happiness. From the moment we're thrown into this world, we're fated to bring each other nothing but pain and misery. The first person whose mind I dove into was my father's. I saw nothing but disgust and hatred for me in his heart. My mother died in childbirth, and he despised me for it. I thought my father was going to kill me. That's when my future disappeared. I lost my past as well. When I came to, the village was engulfed in flames.
Are you saying that you burned your village down to bury your past?
I see that you have suffered the same trauma. We are truly the same, you and I. The world is a more interesting place with people like you in it. I never agreed with the boss's revolution. His dreams of world conquest do not interest me. I just wanted an excuse to kill as many people as I could.
You monster.
Let him talk. He doesn't have much time left.
I've seen true evil, Snake. Seeing you calms my soul. You're like the boss. No, worse. Compared to you, I'm like a saint. I read her mind as well.
Meryl's?
I saw you there. You have a large place in her heart.
A large place?
And getting bigger. But I do not know if your futures lie together. I have a last request.
What is it?
My mask. Put it back on.
Okay.
Like this. Other people's thoughts force their way into my mind. Before I die, I want to be by myself. I want to be left alone in my own world. I'll open the door for you. If you want to find your future, go through that door. This is the first time I've ever used my power to help someone. Strange. Such a nostalgic feeling.
Let's go, Meryl.
I'm sorry.
Meryl?
How could I let Mantis control my mind like that?
If you're going to doubt yourself, I'll leave you here.
You're right.
Don't regret your past. Learn from it. Regrets just make a person weaker.
You're right. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Snake, can I ask you something?
More complaints?
About what Mantis said. I was just wondering...
What? What's the problem now?
Oh, no. Nothing. So tell me, Snake, what's your name? Your real name?
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name.
How old are you?
Old enough to know what death looks like.
Any family?
No, but I was raised by many people.
Is there anyone you like?
I've never been interested in anyone else's life.
So you are all alone, just like Mantis said.
Other people just complicate my life. I don't like to get involved.
You're a sad, lonely man.
Come on, let's go.
Looks like Meryl's okay. Thanks, Snake. Snake, there's no time left. You've got to hurry up and get to the underground base. You should be able to go north from the commander's room.
Psycho Mantis. What a pathetic man. He was born with all the right tools, but he never knew how to use them.
A psychic soldier. What a waste. I guess fighting was all he ever knew.
What, are you feeling sorry for him?
Mantis had incredible power. Fantastic power. Maybe that power could have been used to make people happy. It's a sad thing when you see all that power being used just for war.
The tongues of dying men enforce attention like deep harmony. Snake, people don't normally lie with their dying breaths. I think he was telling the truth. Maybe you should believe him. Please, Snake, don't give up!